What is going on, Rivian fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today, Rivian is completely on fire, up 15.22%. I want to go over some of the data points, where I see things going, and some of the latest updates. So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So currently up 15.22%. It did have a high of $25.63, but it's the volume. The volume is just unprecedented. So 157 million shares being traded, roughly around halfway through the trading day. 63 is the average, and based on my previous video, which I completely admit I was wrong, I did say that it most likely was going to get to around the $21 mark and bounced from there to the 19, but seems to be just whatever. There's a massive fire underneath Rivian and it is going to the moon. So I want to go over some of the data points and what they are saying and what is prompting this today. So starting off, when it comes down to options activity, there is a grand total today of $120 million in calls being purchased versus 22 million in puts. So based on this, it is still anticipated to go up considerably. And based on the overall volume and everything today, it is showing as 85% bullish. So very, very good stuff. And based on this chart right here, so the grid shows all the strike prices, expiry dates. Based on this, it is anticipated to go roughly around $24 to $25 mark over the next couple of weeks. So again, that's kind of where it is in line right now. So interesting stuff behind the scenes. When it comes down to options, like I always say, this doesn't necessarily move the stock price. It's just more of a sentiment, but still a very, very bullish sentiment, in fact. But of course, with the big volume, the huge amount of volume, in fact, today, there's a lot of big money that's getting in, and that's more of an understatement. So this is more so a kind of a record for Rivian. So these are all the transactions that have occurred on the secondary market, and I have it set for only 250 per page, and it basically exceeds that. So in reality, this is probably a record for Rivian in reality, and there's a huge amount of big money getting in, and well over the ask, in fact. More specifically, $29.9 million in one transaction, 1.42 million. So clearly big money. Doesn't matter based on the technicals or whatever it might be, it is just continuously going up. So as far as looking right here, you can tell as well, similar to what is happening with institutions getting in, retail is getting in as well. So they are selling their children, their dogs, and whatever else they can get their hands on and buying Rivian. This is absolutely craziness. So like I've said in the past, it's kind of funny the fact that this was at $12, $13 and people could care less about it. But based on some of the recent events, obviously analyst ratings, their actual Q2 production and delivery numbers that they've announced, things are looking very, very primed for Rivian to go up from here. As well, looking at stochastic, it did kind of do a 180 for that. So it went a little bit more oversold to now overbought. So it is currently at 96. But like I said, what is happening with Rivian, there's a lot of different stuff. One of which, more specifically today, was a analyst rating. And as you can see right here, it looks like Wedbush. So Daniel Ives, who does have a 62% success rate, in which compared to a lot of other analysts is fairly good, but they gave a $30 price target. And in reality, that is absolutely huge because Wedbush actually has been very much bearish on a lot of growth stocks, even including Rivian in the past. So the fact that they are giving a $30 buy rating is very good. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, so you guys always do your own due diligence. But clearly based on this, and as well yesterday, Goldman Sachs as well, an $18 target, CFRA, a $12 target, a sell, in fact. So they kind of looking stupid a little bit. But again, on a side note, I have noticed, I don't know why, Wedbush, a lot of people really highly value Wedbush's ratings for some reason, even when it comes down to SoFi, but whatever, that's on a side note. And as you can see, based on this is his breakdown on why they are giving a $30 target, and it's largely because of the Q2 production and delivery numbers. So once again, I think that's a fairly good thing. Does it justify for it to go up as much as it is and has been so far? I would say kind of a little bit here and there. So I do feel still, despite it going up as much as it has, I do feel that it needs to consolidate a little bit And this right now is some aspects of FOMO. So I do feel that it does need to pull back down a little bit, but still generally speaking, like I said, ever since the Q1 earnings, I have been very, very bullish on Rivian, and I don't know if you guys could tell based on my videos. So I have been buying quite a lot over the last little bit. More recently, I did buy in during the last dip right here. So I feel that Rivian is one of those stocks now going forward that if there is a dip, that is when you need to buy. But of course, I could be wrong. Let me know you guys' thoughts on that in the comments below. So like I mentioned, big money is getting in as far as options and through physical shares. So that's very bullish. At the time of doing this video though, there isn't actually any news from Rivian itself, no SEC filing. So it is just following that analyst ratings and like I mentioned, FOMO. So I'll give you guys a quick overview of what is happening with shorts, because shorts have been a kind of a pain a little bit too. So short score is currently 62, utilization is 28.99%. And once again, as I've said in the past, I bring this up more as a benchmark, not because I think it's going to squeeze or whatever it is. Cost to borrow average is 0.92%, which is kind of small because that 0.92% is an annual rate. So very, very little. And in fact, shorts are increasing 3.98 million shares today. So they are very doubtful clearly about this whole rally. Like I said, a little bit more of a FOMO. So they're starting to really increase a little bit, but 15.03% of the free float is being shorted. And that works out to be 92.18 million shares overall. So like I said, behind the scenes, I do feel that this does have a lot of good opportunity to continue to go up. But one thing that you do have to really factor in is starting to look at a lot of the multiples in comparison to a lot of other EVs. It is rather high. So always be wary about FOMO. So again, I could be wrong. Let me know you guys' thoughts on all of that in the comments below. Give yourself a shout out if you have been buying, selling, holding. What is your take, for instance, on Rivian right now, and how high do you think it can go? And do you think for any reason there is going to be a short squeeze? Because 92.18 million shares being shorted is kind of high if you want to think about it like that, because that does work out to be $1.91 billion in shorts right now. So that's kind of significant. Once again, I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Take advantage of free promos. This promo has been extended, and that is with Moomoo. Link in the description below and also the comments. Sign up for a free account. You get one free stock. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Throw $100 at the account. You get 5 free stocks plus $100 cash reward. So this is literally the definition of a free promo. Link in the description below and also the comments, like I said. With that said, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Rivian.